There are over 1.5 million nonprofits operating in the US alone. Given the massive amount of nonprofits with good intentions, how do we go about finding the ones that are actually creating great impact? How do we understand first which nonprofits are trying to solve the specific problem that you outlined last week? And second, what intervention strategies are each of these nonprofits using? There are a number of free and widely accessible philanthropic resources that can help us overcome this seemingly insurmountable learning barrier, because these resources do the work for us. It is our way as individual givers of essentially outsourcing our due diligence to experts at no cost to us, except for a few minutes of our time. This week, I will walk you through what these resources are and how you can use them, both for our class and all of your future giving. I will also teach you about one of my favorite tools for understanding how to address social issues, the landscape map. This tool essentially maps out all of the different stakeholders and sectors that impact, for better or for worse, any particular social issue. This landscape map, which we will create at the end of the next video, will help you outline people, organizations, opponents, proponents, beneficiaries, and all sorts of different players from other sectors, etc. So we need to take into account who may have economic, political, cultural, religious, sociological, environmental incentives or disincentives to solve your particular problem. There are countless ways to source nonprofits and identify intervention strategies. Understanding a particular social issue area or social ecosystem can be difficult and can also take a long time to master. However, there are multiple ways we can learn and expand our knowledge about any particular ecosystem. I would compare this research process to the process of getting to know a new neighborhood. It takes a lot to truly know a neighborhood inside and out. You need to know the geography, the people, the schools, the hospital, the restaurants, the stores, the service providers, the relationships between people who live there, the history of the neighborhood, how it's changed, how we think it's going to be in the future, just to name a few. And even though it may take a while to master a particular area, I'm sure that you have found you can still get to know it relatively quickly by referring to easily available resources. You can look at a map, you can talk to your neighbors, you can spend time walking around, looking at Yelp reviews, etc. These are things that will kickstart your learning process, and the rest will develop over time. Learning about a social issue is similar. While we will explore a few tools in depth, know that this, like any learning process, is an iterative process. You might first start with basic online searches to understand what research currently exists. You then might review papers, surveys, evaluations, funding reports, annual reports, to identify specific intervention strategies and which nonprofits are using those strategies. You'll speak with individuals who know the sector, attend an event, or read blogs and comments, which will invariably lead you to discover more nonprofits and question what intervention strategies may be best aligned with your interests, goals, and assets. As philanthropists, we have a responsibility to be constantly learning. And that responsibility is 100% self-imposed.